Rishi Sunak becomes the first non-white Hindu Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and it triggers a debate in India on whether a minority can head the top post. Politicians like Mehbooba Mufti, Shashi Tharoor and Owaisi are urging majoritarianism and point towards drawing lessons from Britain. Before going into their allegations, let us examine whether Rishi Sunak became the Prime Minister for the sole reason of being a non-white, non-Christian candidate, and whether the Conservative Party members and Britons elected him out of respect for minorities or setting an example of their multiculturalism. After plunging the country into chaos in barely a month and a half in the office, Liz Truss resigned as Prime Minister of the UK.
That I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
The decision threw open a new leadership contest, the second in less than 4 months. It did not see many candidates up in the race for the top post. You may ask why. Penny Mordaunt, leader of the House of Commons, backed out of the contest just as former PM Boris Johnson withdrew, citing the unprecedented times and in good faith for the good of the country. Why did Boris Johnson, who opposed Sunak's candidacy tooth and nail and backed Liz Truss, has now suddenly given up? Why did MPs of the Conservative Party choose Sunak instead of electing a candidate? The answer lies in Britain's great turmoil, which is reeling under an economic crisis and already sliding into a depression. With energy prices soaring and chilly winters setting in, people are disgruntled as never before. Rishi Sunak was selected for a task in hand. Yes, he was selected to fix the economy and put the country back on track. And this task no other Tory MPs wanted to shoulder the burden of, especially after the humiliating downfall of their former leader. The Conservatives are not just battling the economic crisis but also the revolving door at 10 Downing Street. There have been 5 Prime Ministers in 6 years. It is the fastest turnover of leaders in Britain for nearly a century. The political instability brought on by the fallout of the Brexit referendum and aggravated by Russia-Ukraine war has hit the credibility of the party. In order to regain the credibility of the party and for political stability, Tories felt the need to be united to hedge their chances of winning the next term. Now that we are done with the reasons for Sunak's elevation, let us see the who's who speaking about representational politics in India. Mehbooba Mufti says India is shackled by divisive and discriminatory laws. Mufti took over the reins of her party, the People's Democratic Party, from her father Mufti Muhammad Saeed. Despite having the mandate to rule the state of Jammu and Kashmir, the father-daughter duo did not select a Kashmiri Hindu as a chief minister. On the contrary, Mufti Muhammad Saeed went on to become the Home Minister of India at one point. Shashi Tharoor from the Congress party hailed the British for placing a visible minority on top post. Tharoor was schooled by his own party colleague Jairam Ramesh, reminding the elevation of various minority leaders as chief ministers and union ministers during Congress rule, negating his remarks. Moreover, he must first push for fair and transparent elections in his party's internal elections before going out all open and speaking about the country's leadership. Owaisi says he wishes to see a hijab-wearing Muslim girl as India's PM. As a third-generation dynast, he heads a party whose name means United Alliance of Muslims. But never in the communal party's history has a woman become its president or even a general secretary. At the outset, Owaisi shows himself as the defender of the constitution and champion of the backward classes. But in the very next breath, he is also known for his rabble-rousing speeches and defending communalist views and beliefs. Neither Owaisi and his predecessors nor his party ever raised the issues plaguing the Muslim community like the triple talaq. Resolving them is just out of question. The situation is so worse that the party's women candidates elected in reserved seats in the local body elections are confined to their homes while their husbands run the show. It has to be seen if Owaisi supports a Muslim woman who sets out to become the president of his party without wearing a hijab as her choice.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.